you guys, and welcome back to our channel. I hope you guys have had a good week in quarantine. Can you believe another week has gone by? Today we have a really exciting video with a pro soccer player, Sharon Wojcik, who also happened to play at VCU with me. You guys, it's a really awesome video. She has a lot of really awesome advice and cool stories, so here you go.
What's up, guys? We have Sharon Wojcik with us today. Sharon and I played together at VCU. Sharon was a senior when I was a freshman. Really awesome soccer player, one of the best to ever play I ever played with. Truly, like one of those people that you just give the ball and you're like, she'll do it. She's got it. And now she plays pro. So we're just gonna kind of talk about a few things and a little bit of advice for you guys. And yeah, what's up?
Awesome.
All right, so to start us off with, can you tell us a little bit about your soccer journey and like where you grew up playing, things like that?
Yeah, I'm from Northern Virginia, so my first club was Braddock Road. I played on the Santos. That's where I played till I was about 12 or 13, and then I joined McLean. I played for McLean Strikers under Clyde, which a lot of people I'm sure know, and then my freshman year, I played at NC State, and then I ended up transferring to VCU for my sophomore, junior, and senior seasons, and dabbled a little into the pro life in Europe. I played in Switzerland for a team, FC Lugano, and then in Portugal for a year at Sporting, and now I just signed a new contract at a new team in Glasgow, Scotland. So that's kind of my path.
Yeah, I mean, shoot, playing everywhere, it seems like.
Yeah.
So I know you said Clyde, I know kind of talking to you a little bit, you've had a couple coaches that or people in your life that have really influenced you and inspired you. Can you talk about those people and kind of what they did to inspire you?
Yeah, my main coach who inspired me the most was my first club coach at Braddock Road. His name is Hugo Phan. Some people might have heard about this company he made called HB Elite and Beyond. It's technical soccer training, and I started with him when I was 9. So at that young age, getting able to start with the technical development of, dribbling, shooting, kind of being creative, using creativity and your skills to get out, of certain situations on the field. I think that's really helped me and like establish myself as a player, even to this day. Like even a couple months back, we just celebrated his 70th birthday. Like I'm still in touch with him. It's just nice to have that, connection through almost your whole life. So that was my main inspiration and everything. So
Yeah, that's awesome to have
yeah.
like that one person that you can always go back to for advice, even like you've gone through so much already and as a player. So it's pretty cool.
Yeah, and I started actually, it's funny because I started working for them too as like a soccer trainer. So it's just like a full circle thing with them. And, I was 9 years old and I started as a player running, going to their camps and clinics. And then I started, teaching the players. So it was really cool to be able to do that.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So, we know everything that's going on, stuck in quarantine, can't really get out and practice as we normally do, or just live life like we normally do. What are you doing right now to kind of stay mentally sane and then also staying physically fit and in shape and ready to go play if they called you and said, we got to play tomorrow?
Training a lot. Luckily, the team I signed for, we have like this training app, and the strength and conditioning specialist, he puts our training on the app so I can go in, see what I have to do for the day and send him what I did. So they also sent me a GPS tracker, which helps. He wants to know the distances that we're covered to make sure we hit certain numbers. So it's definitely helped me stay accountable and make sure like I'm doing every single session. And luckily my husband was able to get me a treadmill. Like the job he was at, they were just giving it away, so he brought it for me. So, and my parents donated some weights, and my friends also donated some weights, they weren't really using. So I kind of have a little gym set up, which has been really in my garage. So it's been really nice, and just every day I know this is what I have to do. I like to get it done in the morning. That helps me mentally, but also physically, just to have that structure of training and still even during this time, wanting to progress and get better, because really that's the only main thing I have to focus on right now. Before,
Yeah.
I was coaching, in the evenings. So I always had to think about other things, but now it's just, okay, I'm training. I want to, be the best I can be the most prepared I can be for whenever I do get to go play again.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Have you been able to keep getting touches on the balls, on the ball, and just kind of like doing your own at-home training kind of thing?
yeah. Uh, there's a tennis court in my neighborhood that's still open, so they have like a wall you can kick against where I just sometimes do some passing against, some juggling, just random touches just to stay, touching the ball and just have fun with it, honestly. Sometimes I
Yeah.
go and I don't even really know what I'm going to do, but just being able to touch the ball and play around again has been really fun without any real structure, but kind of letting the creativity flow, which is something I like to do in my games. So, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah. So I know we briefly touched on where you've been playing professionally, but tell us like what it was like to, one, play pro in general, but two, you obviously moved and went on to play in another country by yourself. But what was that like? Were you nervous, excited, all of those things?
Yeah, definitely really nervous at first. I mean, when I first went to play pro in Switzerland, that was my first time going to Europe or really getting to travel. So just not only the experience of going to play pro, but also just living elsewhere, away from my family in a different country, different language, was really nerve-wracking for me. But once I was able to kind of settle into the routine in life, I'll specifically say about Portugal. Once I was able to get used to training with the team and kind of make bonds with certain teammates or people I lived with, it really just kind of let all the nervousness go away and just really take in all the new experiences I was getting to go through, and really just enjoying it, enjoying the new country culture and everything. But it's okay to be nervous. I mean,
Yeah.
you're basically leaving your whole life behind on this new journey where you don't know what's going to happen, but you just have that faith in you're doing the right thing. This is what you love. So
Yeah.
it all went away. Once you get onto the field and you play and have fun, I mean, everything just goes away, all your worries. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Did you have any place that you visited in Europe that you were like, this place is awesome, like, and I never would have gotten to experience it had I not gone?
Basically everywhere in Switzerland that we traveled on the bus, me and my friend would just look out the windows like, wow, these like mountain ranges, like it's just breathtaking no matter where you were. And we're not used to that. We're in Virginia. We're
Yeah.
just like, okay, some hills. um, in Portugal, Lisbon, I mean, is beautiful. It's such a nice city. So many great overlooks. And Porto is another city in Portugal that's just really cool and really cool place to visit. I mean, the whole country, you can visit a bunch of different cities in a few days. So I
Yeah.
think it's a good place to visit, definitely.
Yeah. I've always wanted to go to Switzerland. It's like my next place that I want to go. I've heard it's like ridiculous.
It's breathtaking. It's like the pictures don't do it justice either. You just have to see it with your own eyes.
Yeah. So, obviously you played throughout high school and growing up, and then you went to college, and then from college you went to pro. What were the biggest differences you saw in transitioning from high school to college and then college to pro?
The biggest differences I would say is probably the level of commitment you have to the game. High school is super fun. You get to represent your high school. Like most of your friends go to the game. People who you grew up with. So it's great social aspect thing. And then once you get to college, it's kind of like soccer's your life and your studies. And that has to be your main focus. And just being able to commit yourself to that while you're trying to get a degree, I think is a huge commitment. But of course, if you love it, it's worth every moment. And then going into being a professional, that's it. Your main focus is just soccer. So now you have to be committed even further, because there's not, well, unless you have another job, which I was coaching, but still my whole life was just soccer. You have to commit yourself even further. The level of the game only gets harder, faster. The players get more technical. I mean, it's just each step up, the game gets harder, and you have to keep growing, keep pushing.
Yeah.
If you want to get to that next level. But once you do play in that next level with players who maybe are better than you or the speed of the game is faster, then that pushes you outside of your, comfort zone, and then you get better.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. I have a question that I didn't tell you about, but
yeah.
I just thought of it. Do you think coaching has helped your game in playing at least, since you've been coaching and you kind of step
Oh,
outside of, how do you think it's
definitely.
helped you?
Yeah, just I guess I never really like took myself out of the game much. Of course I watch my film and everything, but just getting to kind of analyze as a coach the more tactical side of the game and what you can do or change to maybe win a game if you're losing, or if you're winning, how to manage the game. So I think just seeing that from like a coach perspective is kind of, eye-opening. And of
Yeah.
course, the more you watch soccer, no matter what kind of soccer it is, I think it's helping you develop. And even when I'm teaching kids simple things, like those are still things I'll do by myself
Yeah.
because it's like foundation stuff. So sometimes
Yeah.
I'll have my players do something and I literally go home and do the same thing.
Right.
So it's cool. I kind of
Yeah.
can see what works with me, and I want to be able to kind of show them that as well. So it's
Yeah.
been really fun. I like it a lot.
Yeah. I think something too that's like, people think when you go play pro, you're doing all these crazy workouts and all this crazy, these crazy drills and stuff, but it's really like just the basics that you're just
Yeah.
perfecting and perfecting and perfecting. Like, I'll do things with some of my kids and I'll be like, I don't play anymore, obviously, but I'm like, I remember doing this in college and being like, why are we still doing this? But it's so like
Mm-hmm.
important to just perfect and perfect and perfect, even if you think you have it, like, obviously. So yeah. So this is the kind of sad part of it, but you've had a few injuries. Most recently, your last one, you've torn your ACL a couple times, but torn it when you were overseas.
Mm-hmm.
And fun fact, we had our last surgeries on the same day, which was kind of funny.
I didn't know that.
Yeah,
I forgot about that.
yeah, I was actually just talking to my PT. I'm still in PT, and I was talking to my PT about that today. I was like, yeah, me and Sharon had surgery on the same day, and I remember like 2 months after she was like doing all this crazy stuff, and I was like just getting off crutches, and I was like, we were on the same
Different
day.
surgeries.
Yeah. But what's something that how many times have you torn your ACL?
3.
Three.
Yeah.
So what's something that you've been able to do that has made you stay motivated to keep getting better and keep working hard, especially multiple times doing the same thing?
Yeah, this last one was by far the most difficult and challenging. Just kind of being at a point where I'm like, do I still want to do this? Can I move on? I've been coaching. Do I want to, go forward with that? And just, I think through the recovery process and how long it is, and each kind of milestone you go through, however small it is, it could be, for everyone knows ACLs, a straight leg lift. Being able to like activate your quad for the first time is just like you just get so happy. And then, just each milestone you go through, maybe it's walking again, jogging. I love lifting personally. Like I was exercise science degree. So just getting stronger every day is something that always kept me motivated, and seeing where I was and also wanting to push with how far I could go.
Yeah.
So mentally it's a challenge because you compare yourself to what you were before pre-injury, and you think, oh my gosh, I put so much work to get to that point. Like, do I really want to put this much work again to get back to where I was? And for some reason, every time I'm getting to the end of my recovery or I start playing again, I'm just like so happy playing again that I'm just like, if I can do this and I have opportunities to do this, then of course I should do this. So there was like 1 or 2 times where I was playing again, and people would ask my husband, is she going to go play again? And he's like, yeah, she's still deciding. Like, she's still starting to feel better, but they're like, well, I really hope she does. And just a lot of the support system I have, like my dad, my husband, and them just saying, if you want to do it, you should do it. You have the talent. You have the desire. I think the desire is the biggest thing. If you have that desire and you want to put the work in, then why not put in everything? So that's kind of what I've learned through my injuries. I actually was not like that before I ever got an ACL tear. I was more just kind of cruising through the motions. But now that I've experienced the time away from the game, that when I'm back playing, I just want to do everything I can to become the best player I can be, because even I'm 26 years old and I'm still developing.
Yeah.
So it's just love the game. It's just like, so hard to step away.
Yeah, for sure. And for people who are going through injuries or people who've just finished injuries and might be nervous to get back out there and like get hurt again, or just in general being nervous, what advice do you have for those people?
Yeah, you don't have to dive 100% when you start playing again. You can kind of ease back into it. And once you start to feel confident in yourself and your, feet and your ability and everything, and you don't feel nervous like going into tackles or everything, I would just say slowly start progressing into more intense sessions or games, whatever you're playing. So just, you don't have to dive full into it. You have to wait mentally till you feel good, because if your mental or if your mind is holding you back, then you might not want to go into that tackle or do something, and that could cause you problems. So just don't rush. Don't rush. Take as much time as you need. Don't rush at all. I used to think it was like 6 to 9 months for an ACL tear recovery, but now it's like 9 months should be the standard. And even as you get to a year or more, you need to keep training, keep strength training. It never stops. You have to keep training, keep getting stronger. So
and one of the things that I kind of learned through this, I'm on like 2 years of not being able to do anything. It's just like, go at your own pace, but like make sure you have a support system around you that's like not pushing you, and like your coach understands, hey, like you just had something major happen to you, whether it be you broke your ankle or you had an ACL tear, you had a concussion. Like make sure that you're communicating with your coach, like explaining what your concerns are and kind of working with them as well. So
super important.
So you've been through your ACL, you're coming back, you're getting ready to go play. What's something that you're really looking forward to and getting back out on the field again?
I'm excited to kind of integrate into my new team. I was able to meet them because actually I got this opportunity through going on a trial there. Mm-hmm. So my agent got me a trial and I got to meet them and kind of have learned more and more about the history of the club and everything. And they post all these videos on Instagram of like the different years and seasons they've had. And it's just, I just can't wait to go there and be with the team and just play with them, because there's so many talented players. They've been so successful. So I think just stepping into that next level of training and games is just what I'm most excited for. Like the intensity and the level of training while I was there was so high that I felt like I was able to like rise into that level, which was really cool. So just getting able to train every day at a high level and seeing like where that can take me, because I think how you train is, the most important, and hopefully scoring goals.
Yeah. I realized we never even told them what position you play.
What? Oh, attacking mid, number 10 or 8, depending on the formation. Yeah.
I was just thinking when you said scoring goals about that banger you scored against George Mason when we were like losing. Oh my gosh, our coach like ran out on the field. We were like, thank God.
That was a really good memory at VCU, because I remember Megan Dell. I was like to Megan, I was like, I can't do it, because we set this play. She was one who like kind of passed over. I was like, I don't think I can do it. I was looking at the wall and I was like, okay, I'll just do it. And then I scored.
Literally just like walked up casually, bangs it in the corner, turns around and was like, wow. We were like, oh my gosh.
It went in so fast, it hit me right away. I was like, did that just have to go in? Oh my gosh, that was a goal.
It was so amazing. That was like, oh my gosh. It was like the best film session afterwards too, because we were just so happy we won. We were like, whatever. That was a good one. Okay, well, going on, like, what's your favorite soccer memory?
Well, that was a really good one. Actually, I was thinking about that before we started this interview. I was like, what are some like really good memories at VCU? And that did stick out, because I remember we were tied and I was just like, oh my gosh, I scored. But my favorite soccer memory are just in Portugal. So they have like a Portuguese Cup where all the teams in Portugal basically participate in this whole tournament to see who's the, champion of Portugal. And we made it to the final. And I remember I was like so nervous for the game. Like I could barely sleep. I think I went to sleep at like 3 a.m. So the day of, I was like, oh gosh, I didn't sleep well. This is not good. And it was just like a lot of nervousness. And it was like a lot of people at the game. I think not a crazy amount, but for me, it was a lot experiencing. I think it was like over 11,000. So they have like this tunnel where you walk up to the field from underground and just coming out and seeing like all the people. I was like, oh God. But anyways, to the game. It was the first time it was the first and only time where they used like VAR for the game, because it was like the final and really broadcast game in Portugal, like really important. So the other team was Braga, and they scored in the 80th minute, and we were like, oh my God. And then the ref blows the whistle, and my friend's like, what's happening? I was like, VAR! VAR! The girl was like literally this much offsides. Like it was like less than a foot. And they took the goal back, and just the feeling and emotion of not only all of us, but like the fans in the stadium, just that relief we had, like we're still in this. Yeah. So the game eventually went to overtime, and we won. We won in overtime. Our striker scored like an amazing goal. So yeah, we won, and we got to celebrate, trophy lift with all the people there, and just I think it was just like the adversity in the game, and then it paying off to getting to win and be champions. That made it like that much more special. And it was just really cool and exciting. Like people said, they saw me on the trophy lift. They said I was like the most excited person there. It was just so much emotion, like with my nerves. And then I was able to play like a really strong game. Like I was really proud of my own, not only my team's performance, but my own personal performance. So just everything kind of came together to create like definitely it was magical soccer moment. I mean, beats that. So yeah, that's my favorite.
Who doesn't
memory.
love a championship?
Yeah, exactly.
Who doesn't love a trophy?
Yeah. It was
so,
cool.
What's your like next goal for yourself in your soccer career? Whether it be just getting over to your new team or whatever.
Yeah, just starting with my new team, integrating in the team. I obviously want to be like a starter for the team, and someone who's able to make an impact. And it was really nice while I was there. Like the girls were like, "Are you gonna sign? Are you gonna sign?" Like they wanted me. They liked how I played, I guess. So just starting with them, getting games in, putting in some solid performances. I personally would like to score some goals and just create a lot of attack. And we're supposed to still be playing in Champions League. It was not canceled, but postponed. So depending on that that's the quarterfinals. So just being able to train and then make my way to being able to play in that Champions League game with the team would be like my main goal right now.
Yeah.
And so I'm really excited for that. So that's my main thing. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I really, really appreciate you doing this. Is there any last piece of advice or, comments you want to make towards parents, players, anything?
Let me think. I guess the main thing that I just through my experiences as a player and coach and everything is if you want to, play in college, go pro, anything, just don't stop trying, keep pushing. Even if something doesn't go your way, you don't make the team, especially like if you want to go pro, if you don't make an NWSL team, there's a whole world out there. So don't stop here just because some coach here didn't like you or anything. There's a whole world out there. Go out and try to find more opportunities, because there's always more opportunities. If that's really what you want, then go for it, because you definitely won't regret it. I mean, just go all in. Yeah, that's all I have to say.
Yeah, well, it's really awesome to talk to you. And if you guys want to watch, I'm pretty sure you can watch games on like how can you can watch your games on.
There's usually some streams. I mean, I don't really know how it's going to go from my new team, but
we'll keep you guys updated on seeing if we can, get the games going. But we wish you guys the best of luck and out
Thank you.
there, and can't wait to see you go out there and kill it once again.
Yeah, thank you
Thank
so
you
much for
so
having me. I mean, this was really awesome to talk about these things with you. So yeah, I
Yeah.
have fun.
Yeah. Well, stay safe, stay
You too.
sane, and we will talk to you later.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
All right, you guys, that's all I got for you today. What a cool interview. It was so cool to talk to her about what it's like to play pro, especially because she's played in so many different countries. It's just awesome. I hope she inspired you guys in some way. I mean, she's just an awesome soccer player, awesome person. So I hope you guys really enjoyed it. And if you liked this video, make sure you tap the like button before you leave, you subscribe before you leave, and you tap that notification bell so you get notifications every time we post. Comment down below your thoughts, what you want to see next, all sorts of stuff. You guys comment down below, and we'll see you guys next week. Have a good week.